fucking post it, dude. Oh shit, I put swearing on. Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's punctuated by
Random video, audio. Nice. Okay. I don't think I'm here. What? I still didn't figure out what the game dev category is because I don't remember. Oh, wait. Welcome, Brent. Oh, wait. It's software and game development. I found it. Nice. What is up, gamer? Another morning. I was like, do I want to work on this morning or do I want to do something else? And I was like, no, we got to put some time into this. The only reason I was averse to it is because I got painting to do later, and I was like, do I want to work? But is this really work? Is the question you're gonna ask yourself? Is this really work? It's not. All right, we're working on room transition. We're working on room transitions next because Speedos, Uri, spelled with a J, was talking about the idea of having stuff that's in separate rooms, like minigame type shit. And so I want to get some of the basic stuff down so that we have it. Room and maybe, should I do, how am I going to do, you think you have a pretty good room transition object. Okay, I'm going to just copy what I similarly do for like stuff. I don't think it's going to be as, I bet your room transition object has a skill tree. So no, that would be really funny though. Actually, that's kind of a funny idea now that I'm thinking about it. Oh shit, that's hilarious, dude. Anyways, watching the rest of last night's VOD. Nice, dude. Yeah, I was thinking. I think what I got to do. I'm probably gonna have this for a couple more days, and I'm passing it to you, Brent. You're gonna be second, and then I think I'm gonna have Speedos be third, and then I think we should do Steve as last. I think. I'm not quite sure, because I want to give Steve a bunch of time to like look at Game Maker. But I think what I'll do is I'll give him the project earlier so he can start tinkering with it. Yeah, maybe that's what I do. When I go to pass it off to you, I'll just put it in a Google Drive so he can download it and look at it, and then he can just start looking at it and adding stuff. I think that's what I would end up doing. It's more like it has a number of options that you can just pick which room and which transition you want. You can also pass through a function that you want to run mid-transition. Interesting. Honestly, I feel, so that sounds awesome. And you can definitely add that when I pass this off to you, too. But honestly, having a bunch of variation isn't going to hurt because Steve will be able to see different room transitions. So, because this is just going to be really basic. So we have room transition. Actually, let me, hold on. I don't like room transition. Let's do next room. I think that sounds better. It flows off the tongue more. Then we're going to make him persistent. So, yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. I think we have I'm hoping the wide variety of code from each person isn't, like, extremely convoluted. I'm trying to keep this stuff, like, relatively simple, but I'm going to have to comment this, I think, a lot more once I have the basic thing. I have to think about how I want to do, like, outside room collision. Because obviously I can put a wall. Actually, it doesn't matter. If I have a wall back there and they can't jump over it, as long as it's too big, that actually might solve my problem. Let me try that. I don't think they can actually get out of the room if it's 2 blocks large. Because the jump doesn't extend beyond that point. Besides, part of the reason for this is to just be jank. That kind of annoys me. I'm gonna fuck with the camera off screen at some point, but for now, let's just cope with the camera. I really don't have much experience with the camera object that well. It's like my weaker subject. I struggled with it a bit with the blobber because it was using like a matrix and stuff, which is like really bizarre. If you're wondering why I don't click don't show that again, it's a deliberate thing, just so you know. Okay, so there is a block there, and yeah, you can't. It's a temporary jump off screen. Does that work for now? It's kind of fucking jank, but it works. Maybe I just won't have the player get near the edge off screen at all. Maybe we'll just have a bunch of walls there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. It could be worse. Temporary. All right, let's do room transition. Actually, let's rename this to next room too. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm basically just going to make a very simple collidable object. I almost never use this menu because with jump off the bridge, it takes like 1,000 years for the shit to load up because I have so many fucking sprites. Dude, you should see it. It's like, actually, I should pull it up because I might use some code from jump off the bridge as well. 8 years of random baggage of sprites. Pretty funny. Okay. Just gotta do a little dance. It'll get it done. Do I have this? It is in custom order. Yeah, so if I go to like an object and then I click this and go to oh, it's actually loading way faster. Nice. There's like a fucking shit ton of goddamn sprites in here though. At least it's 156. There's definitely way more than that. Does it tell me how many sprites I got in this game? Like each level has like a fuck ton of sprites. Maybe it just doesn't load them all at once because I noticed these don't have any previews, so it must cycle through and like check what you're actually using. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I don't think I've noticed that before. Neato. Dude, you got a watch streak? What the hell is that? 7 stream streak, bro. Nice. I actually gotta do something with the points. I've been slacking. What should I make you guys? What should I give you guys the access to with the points? That's a great question. Did I even name my points too? Okay, well, that's a distraction. I'll deal with that later. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is... It's obviously going to be a create. Target room. Target X. Target Y. Just so you know, my attention to this split, I joined the call with mates right before you started your stream. Well, dude, no big deal at all. My attention is split too, so it'll be totally fine. I'm just trying to crank out a little bit before I gotta go paint this state later, so... And I'm gonna have to leave in like a couple hours anyways, so... Thank you for the heads up, though. I do appreciate you. I will keep that in mind going forward. Got the mates on the line. Alright, so... We're going to... Okay, so we have target room, target X, target Y. Okay, I think what I'm going to do then... Let's actually make a door just for... Because I did... Oh, let me use the cobblestone. I did something similar for the blobber, so... Let's do a door here. Since this is jank anyways, let's make our own jank version of this. Let's do some little cobblestones. This is kind of what it looks like. Something simple. Okay, cobblestone back. Works for me. Let's do the door. Okay. Door, I'm just going to do a similar door that I was doing to the blobber. oak in a dungeon. Nice. That looks like a professional made it, dude. Look at that. Show some planks here. Since we're all about realism in this game. In this here game. Some wood imperfections. Nice. Okay. And then... honestly, now that I think about it, what the hell did old doors? I feel like they just use rope or something. Or maybe it's like a stick. Honestly, just do like a stick. Like I can envision them like mounting a stick as like a door handle. Honestly, that looks kind of whatever. Eh. I feel like this needs more tone or something. It's an outline. Make it look more. Maybe we just add some hinges. Oh, what would it hinge to? Cobblestone? Maybe the cobblestone needs to work around it a little bit more. Oh wait, this is on the wrong layer. Just make it look like it's more part of the wall here. Huh. Doesn't gotta be perfect. I'm kind of just laying the groundwork here, but we'll take my artistic moments. Okay. Close enough. Alright, and then we can do door open. Yeah, do I want to do a similar thing for that? I could do if point distance equal inch. Yeah, maybe. Fuck it. Okay, let's just scrunch this up. Scrunch it in. Give the door the old squish. And then we're gonna cheat our perspective here. Close enough. Nice. Okay, and then now we need to remove the cobblestone back, and then use that as a guide. Let's just start up here. Okay. Yeah, we can make it a little bit bigger. It doesn't matter. Does that look like that door is opening? Kinda. Well, there is like shadow and shit we could do. Like that. Like it's opening inward. Honestly, almost close enough. Hold on. This needs to shift left so that like is going with the rest of the stuff. And then maybe I'd change the shape slightly. And then technically, wouldn't this be like opening inward or something? close enough. Okay. So how do I want to do that? Oh, we should probably fix the grass texture while we're at it. Yes, I'm going to be preserving all my grass textures. Can you do like 128 by 128 for now? Nice. I put a lot of hard work into all these. We're going to use them all. Because I really don't want like 1,000 objects. Like, that would be... I feel like a tile map is going to be cheaper. Ooh, yeah. I was going to say I could just use asset placement too, but it's whatever. We'll just do tile map. I don't regularly use tile maps myself, but I have been using them for the Blobber project, so I feel like 4 grass tiles is enough variation, right? Let's leave it for now. I can make it bigger later. Alright. This is... Oh, wait. Do we have to... No. Now we create a tile map, right? Create tile set, yeah. Whatever. Tile set main. Boom. 32 by 32. Okay, oh, it ignores the first one. Well, in that case, 32. 32. Actually, we can just use grids. Forgot about that. I will be preserving my final tile then. So much effort. Okay. Now we got a tile map. Okay, and then now we create a new tile layer. I'm just gonna call it tiles. Actually, I'm gonna call it ground. We'll put it at the bottom. Okay, now let's ignore this background for now. Oh, that's not the background. Let's ignore the assets layer. Let's delete that one. Alright, then for ground, oh, we need to select our tile set. Okay. Actually, we should probably hide the things too. We're aiming for maximum effort, as you can see here. Maximum effort. Oh yeah, this is looking like a... This is looking like grass now, dude. Pristine work. All in a day's work. Got some variation. Now it's not stretched and schizophrenic looking as it jitters in the background between my sprites. And best part is I think we can edit the tiles later And it should preserve what tile was chosen here, so that'd be pretty nice. Some people don't do as much work as I do for tiles. They'll only have one grass variation. We got 5 in this game. That's what it takes to truly be an aspiring game dev. It's all about that effort. I was actually livid this morning because I've been playing that game I complained about, that Clash of Critters game, and the more I play it, the more it irks me to a violent rage. And something they did today, which I thought was particularly scummy, is it was like, oh, you have this piggy bank, and if you get like enough score, then you get the piggy bank. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I filled it up to the 1250 point, which is like halfway. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of neat. It still has like 2500 to go to get to like the other side or whatever. I was like, okay, interesting. So I'm filling it up. And as I'm filling it up, I keep doing it right. Oh, this looks great. Oh, I love this. So I keep filling it up. I fill it up. It takes a day, whatever. It has a button at the bottom. It says collect now. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I can collect it any time. Maybe you get more rewards if you hold out for longer, right? I filled the entire thing up. The collect now button turns into a pay $5.99 to get your rewards. I'm like, holy shit, bro. These people that make this game at every turn are just trying to squeeze money. When we were talking about it with Speedos, about the ethics of art and like attaching money to it, I feel like that's where my distinction comes in. If you make a game and in that game it was like made for money, like made to make money, like in that like shallow, like trying to psychologically exploit people way, that's where I feel like you ruin the art of games. I mean, it is an art to to have such a sophisticated gambling arm that's ever looming over the player, threatening to pilfer their wallet, but sophisticated in the worst way. So that's where I feel like the distinction is. It's fucking obnoxious, though. I was like, oh, I just want to collect these critters. And then I was thinking, like, oh, maybe the fact that they're critters and look, like, interesting and cute and bank on the Pokemon nostalgia, like, maybe that's all just a ploy to try to get more money out of your wallet. And the minigames suck. So then I'm like, well, why am I playing it? And it's like, well, it is just something to do. But I'm also game deving because I'm thinking, how could I make this better? How could I take this shit concept and make it a better game? I have so many questions. So yeah, Clash of Critters fucking sucks, dude. Prime example of the worst type of game in existence. I'm just kind of making a maze because I don't know, I was just vibing. It felt like maze territory. Sometimes you feel like that, just a little bit of maze. Got some L's, got some whatever. Actually, I want like a bigger door here. Yeah. Let's do this. Nice. Okay. Kind of got something going. Yeah, sorry. I was going to answer it earlier why I leave that intentionally on. It's because with my big projects, for some reason it like it'll like crash if I don't close the thing without the window prompt. I know, it's like really weird. I don't quite understand it. Okay, so what is the distance by which I can... I actually want it to be more consistent, actually. I want you to be able to jump over like 2 or 1 block. So let's get that in there now that I'm thinking about it. So our J speed is 12 right now. Let's do 13 and see where we're at. I want a... Oh. Okay, that's a problem we gotta fix. That's a problem we gotta fix. For sure. Maybe I gotta make the... Okay, we're almost there. Should I make it smaller, actually? You can only jump over 1? I guess you have J speed, and then you also have your speed. Oh, that works, actually. Oh, yeah, that's way better. Because you're, like, committing to your jump, so I want it to be, like, a consistent, like, you know, something going on. Like, at least 2. I feel like 2 feels pretty good. It's pretty damn high, though. Can't do 3, but you can do 2 blocks. Yeah, that feels much better, because then I can kind of, like, go around the maze, you know? I feel like I gotta do some kind of thing where it, like, checks to see... I don't know, even if you're at the bottom, you can still... Yeah, that works. So if you're at the bottom and the top, you can still get into the way. I feel like that feels better to play. That's kind of gimmicky. How do I want to fix that? It's because the player's hitbox is large. We're measuring the hitbox. Maybe what I'll do... Should we do it off the shadow collision? Why not? Let's just fucking make it jank, bro. Let's just make it jank. Alright, here's what I want to do. So I want to do... So the player right now is checking when he lands, is he on a wall? Well, maybe we make that part of the shadow. Because if the shadow's clear and not on the wall, then... That's kind of jank. Alright, well... Maybe we do a shadow check? So right now we're checking if you're on the faux jump solid, which is invisible. But if you're also meeting the wall, then knocked is true. So maybe once we check the player, we do an additional check? Could I do like a var shadow check equals false? False, we're not meeting the thing. Shadow check. So then we do... Yeah. Oh, I see more chats. One thing I'd do is make it that whenever you press a jump button, you could save your X and Y to a variable named previous position. So if you end up off screen or in a pitfall, you can return to your last safe position and lose some HP whenever you press the jump button and are grounded. That's an interesting idea. Save the position, and then if you end up off screen or in a pitfall. I'll tell you what, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, like right before you jump, save the position. I haven't figured out what I want the gameplay yet to be, so... I imagine we're going to have health, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'll keep that idea in mind. This is a good idea, Brent. Save your X and Y. That's relatively easy to do. Well, we have a good, yeah, we do have a good foundation for top-down jumping. I have ideas already good. You're the one that's getting it next, so I'm passing the project to you after I'm done with it, which will probably be in a few days because I think I'm going to be painting a ton this week. So, and then I want to get back to programming my blobber content. So, all right, let's do. I can't wait to see what fucking shit you put in this game, bro. I'm excited. I'm geeked. I also have, so like I have ideas for this project, and then I have ideas for, like, regardless of how the project turns out, I can take like this thing that I made and then branch it into something else, because I have some ideas for that I don't think would work for the Frankenstein project, but I think they would work for like their own small $1 game stuff. I really want to hyper maximize the like $1 game scope this year, so any of the small projects I make, I'm going to consider branching them out. All right, we got to do a shadow check. So then we're going to do like width, shadow, and then the shadow is going to check if place meeting x y plus 1 faux jump solid, and then if place meeting x y par solid. Can we address the shadow check? Other dot shadow check equals true. Would you have any issues with using libraries like input or scribble? Bwahaha. No, dude. You put whatever you want in there. I'm gonna figure it out. I've already looked at your skill tree thing and read a lot of the documentation, and I've tinkered around with it at least, so I'm a little bit familiar with that. And if we have any problems with it, I'm just gonna hit you up in your DMs till we figure it out. I don't think it'll be a big deal. I think right now we'll start with the single pass for everyone, where each person gets it once, and then we see what game we end up with. But if we decide we want to do a second round of everyone gets it again, then we can just continue, and I'd be fine with that too. We'll see what it looks like when we're done with it. But yeah, I don't have any issues with using libraries. I gotta learn at some point how to use libraries. I'm not very proficient at them yet, but it's just because I haven't endeavored to use them. I was actually thinking of using the X input gamepad thing for another game, because I was like, oh, I want like a game to support like 16 players or something. So then when I do like Steam remote play, then like 16 people could join. I feel like that's possible, right? That's gotta be something stupid like that. There's gotta be a way to do it. I think the X input, at least for GameMaker 8.2, it supports up to like 16 people. So I was like, there's got to be a way to connect 16 controllers to a computer, and then I can abuse Steam remote play function. Like, that's kind of what I was thinking. There's got to be something for it. Not this game. No. Not this game. No, not for this. Another game. I had another game idea that I was like, I wanted to be 16 players so that I could abuse Steam remote play when I upload it to Steam. At some point. I have a weird game. There's a game I really like that I want to remake that I think needs more love in the genre. So, yeah, dude, can you imagine this with 16 people? I was gonna say, Jesus, we're all learning something. Yeah, can you imagine, bro? Oh my god. I was debating about making this multiplayer, but I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it simple for this one. Maybe at some point I'll do a branch of this that's multiplayer. Once we figure out what that looks like. All right, perhaps shadow check needs to be a built-in function here so that we can address it. Oh, but then we gotta do movement. Fuck. Is there a variation where the shadow is clear, but the player is not? if I make the shadow hitbox, no, the point is to try to get Fug. How do I want to do that? Is it that I make the player hitbox shorter? Because that's my problem right now. But then it's going to be annoying for hitting bullets. Is there a variation where the shadow... fuck. Alright, let's try it. Shadow check equals true. If shadow check equals false, then continue this bullshit. Right? No, but then it's just gonna get stuck. That doesn't work. We gotta just make that. No, this doesn't work. This is too jank. We're not doing this. This is way too jank. This introduces more problems than I want to. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna make the player hitbox shorter. Which, to be honest, a good player hitbox should be like smaller than the player to begin with, but do I like that? Why does it look uneven? How about that? So this is 8, 22, 13, 31. 8, 22. What the fuck did I say? 13, 13, 31. 8, 22, 13, 31. 8, 22, 13, 31. 8, 22, 13, 31. Keep it simple. That's what we need to do. Keep it simple. Yeah, I feel like his head should not be in it. Yeah, I was just... what I was trying to do is I was trying to make it so that we didn't have more of this, like that. I was trying to keep, like, that low, but perhaps that's part of the fun. So now we can jump over at least 2 blocks. Yeah, that's better. I like that. And then if you jump into something... then it's kind of like, yeah, okay, that works. That works really good. And then you're, like, guaranteed to... okay. I'm pretty happy with that. So, wait, now that I got the 2 jump, can I jump out of the borders? Yeah, I can. So, these got to be 3 wide to prevent... Yeah. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm cooking, dude. And then we got to get back to the room transitions, since that was my whole purpose. But I started working on other code. Alright, so now with 3 wide, he can't do it. Yeah, I feel like making the head not in is good. I just didn't want to do, like, one of those things where, like, it's only the bottom. Because I always hate trying to do, like, bullet collisions like that. Like, it's annoying as hell. That drives me insane. I guess I could have 2 hitboxes, one where he, like, takes damage, but then it's, like, weird. It's a little weird. Okay. This is shaping up to be good. Okay. Now, back to our door. We're going to do... let me close these sprites. Alright. So, instances... we're going to just put the next room thing here. Are you planning on having enemies walking around? That's a good question. Yeah, but I'm not going to be the one to do it. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to be the one programming enemies. I'll be one of you guys. You could do some A-star pathfinding, right? You guys ever done that? I've done it at least once. I'm not very good with it. I was thinking of enemies. I was also debating, do I want a sword swing? I feel like the jumping makes this ripe for like a downward sword slash, which is kind of what I was envisioning doing after I get the door transition done, but we'll see. With Thirsty Princess, the guys had to find their ways to the tables or chase players around the bar. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you were doing that shit. What kind of pathfinding did you use? Paths or something? How did you do the programming for that? I mean, I could just have a bunch of stationary enemies, and then it'd be like a Magic Tower game, but you could jump over walls. That's already a gimmicky, interesting concept in and of itself. MP grids? Okay, I don't think I've used MP grids to that. I think I might have used it once. Did I use MP grids for? It's been years, but I feel like the. Did I use an MP grid for the fucking nightmare creature? Let me see. Where is game dev is poor? Night creature. Yep, I did use MP grids. Yeah, it's been years. I haven't looked at this shit in forever. MP grids. Okay. Yeah, it's Pathfinding and Game Maker. I had no idea what the fuck they were until somebody mentioned it in chat and Thirsty Princess was born. Yeah, I guess I have used them at least once. I don't remember it, but I have used it at least once. It has been forever, though. I have never used them again. So I guess we could do MP grids. It is a grid, so. Alright, let's do. So, target room. I don't remember how to properly use it, but I have a lot of code to refer to back it up. Okay, or to go back to, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we could Google it too. It shan't be that hard, and all the solids are going to derive from parsolid anyway, so you could just use parsolid as like the add instance to the MP grid thing, so it should be relatively simple. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do if place meeting player then just in case anybody doesn't know what place meeting means at this point in time, if meeting player with, can't you just do other? I think you can just do other. With other. Oh, but then that looks confusing. There's got to be a better way to do that. I mean, I could just refer to the player directly, but I could also just store the player. Is that going to make it easier for somebody to understand? Basically, we're grabbing the player's ID. I know it's happening, but I'm also trying to keep in mind that I'm going to be passing this project between people, so. Player.x equals target x. Oh, actually, we got to. I don't think it matters. Room go to? What the hell is room go to next do? I'm sure I've used it, but why? Mac go to now? Oh, maybe it just goes to the next room in the chain. That makes sense. Yeah, that sounds self-evident now that I say it, but it just seemed confusing in the moment. Alright, we gotta go to. Do we want to call them rooms? I like level better. Let's do door hell. We're gonna make door hell next. Let's duplicate this so that we have the layers. Let's do door hell. Oh, actually, sorry. Target room. Okay, and then I just do it in here. Okay, we'll figure out the X and Y in a moment. Alright, if I want to do... This is probably where camera bullshit's got to come in, but... Let's do some quick math. So, I want a room that's like just half the size. Is that gonna... How's that gonna affect what we're working with here? This is door hill, right? Okay. And then 768 divided by 2 is 384. This is a weird resolution. I don't know if I'm a fan of this. Alright, and then this camera is going to be the same size as this room here. So 683 by 384, and it's going to be upscaled to that. Alright, and then let's delete every instance. Oh, I put those on the shadow layer. Okay, I guess that's a little weird, but let's no, let's just delete them. Fuck it. Okay. And then we're gonna do this again. Okay. This is game making. I'm not a fan of this resolution that we're working at, but I'm going to keep it for now. Alright, and where's my bro going to go? He's going to go center. Yeah, what is this? 320, 192. 320, 192. Let's delete this, and let's see if that shit works. So we navigate the maze. Oh my god, we have anti-aliasing on. Holy shit. Graphics, interpolate, get out of here. Apply. What person ever wants interpolate between colors on? No one. Fucking no one does. It looks horrible. Nice. Look at that. Sweet. Alright. Now for the main event. We're 45 minutes in, right? Yeah, 48. Okay. Let's make more fucking doors, dude. Boom, baby. Create sprite SPR trapdoor. Ooh, how am I gonna do this effect? I have a vision. But what does that look like? Okay, well we can start with drawing the trapdoor, since that's where every good story starts. The trapdoor. Oh wait, we need the wall colors too. Something I don't like about Game Maker is having to pick colors and not having just like a uniform palette for everything. That drives me insane. Alright. So it's not a wall, so maybe it'll be half the size. Let's just sketch this out. I have a vision in my head, but I don't know if I can make that a reality. Okay. Bro's cooking. Alright, let's do door. Too big. 2 pixels on every side. Okay. Nice. Imperfections. Oh shit, it's on the wrong layer. Dude, but I thought I made a door layer. Didn't I just type door? What the hell did I type? Okay. Cobble. We're on the door layer. Okay. No, that looks horrible. What am I doing? That looks like shit. But doesn't matter. Truth is, it doesn't. Okay, and then we need, for sure, a darker color in the center. This is 16. This is 16. This is center. Okay, let's and then let's do some some handles. That'll work fine. All right, and then let's add some more wood grain. We'll remove this. Add some imperfections to the door, like that. Okay. More wood. Random dithering for no reason. I love dithering. Let a brother dither, dude. Oh yeah. I'm cooking with that dither, dude. Nice. Oh wait, that's on the base layer. Let's actually get some distinct variation here to make this edge sort of pop a bit more. And let's color the corners so the door is framed in more. Nice, I'm a fan of that. Okay, okay. Sweet. And then now let's do this, where we do a black hole-ish thing. All right, let's delete these. Okay, and then we're going to there. Okay, and then we're going to adjust our hole. Okay, and then maybe, yeah, we have to go in and do, actually this should be on the, this is a hole, but it's actually on this layer so that we can continue the cobble. And then what I'm going to do is just like that. With like, and then we dither down. Kind of hole-ish. Maybe the darkness needs to go up higher. Stream of light to the right. No, it needs to be a higher hole. So then we dither higher. And then these need to be dark, I think. Oh yeah, variation here. Oh, I like that. That looks better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's looking pretty good. Okay. So we kind of got, actually I don't like this. I changed my mind. Okay. There we go. Boom. There. Awesome. So how the hell are we doing this? We're going to... I don't know. That's for future Cody to figure out, I guess. We have the door. Okay, let's take this color. Cube. And then let's do port. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We also gotta do... Yeah, I don't want to jump into the next room. I forgot. We gotta do a... If player is jumping equals false. I'm gonna do that for this too. We don't want them to be jumping when they collide with it, otherwise it's gonna be like real weird because they're gonna be like up in the air. Because the idea is like when they're in the air, they're not able to collide or touch anything. But if I don't add that distinction, then it's gonna be considered. It's just gonna look bad. It's not gonna work. So now we're gonna do trapdoor Gibbs. Apply. So let's just start with, actually we can do 16 by 16. Okay. Okay, wood breaks and like fibers. So it's gonna be like planky looking. Can do like shards too. But mainly like planks. Okay. So we got main plank majority, but let's do some smaller ones. Some like stick looking stuff. Okay. Do I want to use this darker color for some of it? Maybe to show the depth of the break a bit. Okay. Actually, we can just delete this frame. Okay, center these. Okay, so now we have those. Middle center. It's close enough. I'll do back one. Okay. Alright, so we got that. How do I want to do this? Let's duplicate this. Trapdoor. Let's make that there. Image speed equals 0. Instances. Well, I made teleport that, not trapdoor. In the old Game Maker, in an earlier update, whenever you duplicate an object, it would automatically center on and go onto that object. I don't know why they changed that. It drives me insane. I'm so used to like, okay, if I right click and duplicate, then the focus of my object is always going to be the thing I'm duplicating. It's not going to be the same thing I'm on. I don't understand why they ever changed that. I wonder if there's actually a setting for it now that I'm thinking about it. There probably is. All right, collision manual. Do it like this. Okay. All right, and then all right. So then how do I want to do this? So we can make it. Should I make it solid? No, I think that'd be annoying. If I make it solid, it's going to be annoying. Yeah. Yes, it will be annoying. Let me see what this looks like. So we gotta do. Because if I just touch them, yeah. If we get a check. We need a was jumping variable. What does the was jumping variable do? We're going to make it so that I want to only open these trap doors if he has enough speed, like beforehand. So it's going to just check if he was jumping, and then after a frame, if he's on the ground again, set it to nothing. So this is going to be was jumping equals true. And then I think what I'm going to do is at the beginning of this block. Yeah, I think that's what I got to do. If is jumping equals false. And was jumping equals true. Let me just reset that. Only was jumping for a single frame to check for jump into trapdoor / slam stuff, basically, is kind of what I'm thinking. And then this is going to check in the end step so that it always runs at the end. If you're colliding with this, if is jumping is false, and player was jumping equals true. So now it should only work if he jumps into the door, not if he steps on it. Yeah, okay. Nice. Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay. So now we're going to do bullshit. Bullshit is what we're going to do. How do I want to do this? Do I do... Just out of curiosity, is your volume turned low? No, I think I'm just I think I'm just talking low. It might be though, actually. I don't think I turned it lower though. No, I think I'm just talking really lowly. Let me know. Let me know on your end. What is my current problem? I don't have a current problem. I'm debating what I want to do. So I got the room transition as in like, you know, a thing. You can collide with it. This is a room. And I have these trap doors. And I think I want them to lead to different rooms. But I also want to animate it, I think. But I'm debating how I want to do the animation. I feel like I should just do a small animation and then make it wait until the player's animation is completed before it transitions. Maybe that's what I gotta do. I'd make it a player state. Yeah, like you're talking about like animation. I think I know what you're talking about. Make it a player state. How would I solve that? Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. For some reason, I was envisioning like, yeah, the doors need to go to different places. So you jump in. Actually, let's do the, because I want the particles to like, you know, flit out and around. So it needs to just wait a certain amount of time. Yeah, like you said, use an animation end to call a function to switch room. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Or like an alarm is just what I'm thinking. Maybe I have... yeah, what do I want to do? Well, I guess let's do a basic player animation first. So let's take our guy. Let's take our shoes. And let's duplicate and do player trapdoor fall or something. And then let's get rid of this. All right. And then we can use this as the player, I guess. And then let's just do it and see where we're at. So we're gonna just do keyframes to start. So we're gonna do like the head is what I want to focus on. So like here, and then actually let's get a bunch of these, and then let's onion skin it, and then let's do like here. We need the nose to be like, yeah, like this. We're gonna make them flip around is what I want to do. So do. it smaller. This is kind of funny, actually. I quite like this. Okay, and then let's make him way smaller, like that, and then one more, but like just like really tiny. Do 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 do. Yeah, hold on. This is gotta go back maybe, and then maybe down. Yeah. It's gonna look real good. Okay. I'm already having a good time with this one. Okay. So let's do the hat now. I like the nose poking up. Yeah, I love it too. Just like it's like in the air as he falls down. That's pretty funny. And then maybe I can do the hat falling off here too. How would a hat fall? The heavy part's going to be on the bottom, so maybe it's going to be like this. And slower than the person who has more velocity. Yeah, I like that. It's got to be much slower though, which means it's not going to make much difference. Let's do our 15 frames a second without onion. Keep the frame like here. Maybe it goes this way. It should actually start turning. Yeah, okay, but less distance now. Close, close, close. This. I actually wanted to go the other direction, so it's gonna make it look like more varied, I think. Onion skin. I actually kind of wanted to go up once as the weight like sort of spins it around. Yeah, and then it can go like that. Maybe this needs to be like this. And then this can be downward as the weight swings up. No, it needs to start. It needs to constantly be descending. That upward looks weird. I don't know if I like this frame. Constantly descending. Weight flips. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm a fan of that. Okay. And then player's gone. Hat gets smaller. Player's hidden. Hat gets smaller. Still gotta look like a hat though. And then maybe it flips again. And then where the cobble at? Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, bro, that looks fucking nice. Dude, sweet. A little flippy, a little bit more flippy than I want. I think it's because of this frame here. No, it's too flippy. It's gotta be like here. It look hilarious. Yeah, it does look pretty good. I'm having too much fun with it. Oh wait, maybe I gotta do like this way. Kind of. Okay, it's a little too big, but it's there. Okay, it gets too big on the side one here. Oh yeah, that looks hilarious. Okay, now I gotta do the rest of the player. Luckily, he is just like an orange blob. Or, I mean, a red blob. Like this. Like that. Let's show some plumpness. My boy is rotund. Sort of flips around again here. Like that. Like that. Oh yeah, dude. Okay, we actually need some more like upwardness, I think, here. Oh yeah, bro, nice. Nice, dude. This is really funny looking. Okay, and then let's do his belt. You're not even gonna be able to see it in the last frame. Okay, and then now we do the shoes. Actually, I want the shoes to like overlap them a bit, so we're gonna make a shoes layer. this. Okay. 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 Then we're gonna do bottoms of shoes. And then I feel like you're gonna be able to see more of the sole here. Maybe not actually. Yeah, because this is just gonna be the foot pointed downward. So maybe here we show more of the sole. Yeah, I think that works. Maybe here more sole. But then this one's pointed downwards, so okay, yeah, I like that. Then we do more sole for this one. And then nothing for that. Okay. That looks so good. I'm having way too much fun with that. Do I want to do one more frame where he's like just a fucking pixel down here? Yeah, I think I do. Actually, maybe I do him like here. Yeah, bro. Look at that. Too good. Alright, let's do one more frame for the hat. Okay, now let's, as he gets into here, let's do our shading. Oh. Focus on the shoes layer. Oh, I fucked up. Okay, let's make this some more whole color. Sorry, I keep moving away from the mic because I'm vibing. Give me a second. Bro is vibing. Let's make this darker. Oh yeah, bro. Yes. All right, let's make this darker. Shoes. Nice. Should I do a foot? Yeah, let's do a foot. And then let's darken the hat. It's amazing what you can do with just a little bit of shit. Oh, it's not the hat layer. Okay, let me delete this. All right. Nice, 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 nice. Maybe we do a partial thing for that. Yeah. That's some sick animation, dude. Thank you, bro. It turned out really good. I'm having way too much fun with that. Now we program it. Because I got like 40 minutes. Let's see where we're at. All right, so what do are we doing here? Well, we're definitely getting rid of the cobble. Okay. So we have to. What do we gotta do? We're gonna do. Do I can do a. Okay, there's a lot of ways I can solve this. I have a bunch of solutions, but what's gonna be the best solution? This looks great. These variable names are so good. Perfect. Love it. Am I in an animation? If perfect. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, how do I want to do that? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm basically going to make it so that the trap door is going to take the player. Oh, we need Gibbs. All right, player dot in animation equals true. Player dot in animation equals trapdoor fall. Yeah, and then sorry, my player dot x is going to equal my x, and player dot y is going to equal my y. Yeah. And then all right, and then actually maybe we'll just do phases for this. Phase equals 0. If phase equals 0, what is new? Welcome, Speedos. How are you, dude? I'm finishing up a short stream of adding stuff to the player. I'll catch you up as soon as I finish this programming thing here. So if phase, how are you? How's your day going? Welcome to the party. If unopened, collide with player. So we do our Gibbs, and then we're gonna phase equal 1. And then if in animation process, then we're gonna do, actually perhaps we should just store the player permanently. Let's do that. Player equals no one. This. In animation, Gibbs, phase 1, 2, resolution of door to next room. It's a huge storm outside. It's comfy. That does sound kind of comfy. Then we're going to do if instance exists player, if player dot in animation equals false. Door transition resolution equals target X. Maybe we're gonna make this a next room door thing. This, and then we're gonna do player dot e speed equals 0, player dot h speed equals 0, player dot is jumping equal, well, it's already, they're not jumping, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I think that should be fine. So that will, so this player transitions into an animation, and resolution of door is held until animation is finished. Okay, then we gotta do gives after this, and we go to phase 1. We're gonna do else if the and since this is an animation false, blah blah blah. Okay, and then we gotta reset the player. No, I guess it doesn't matter because an animation automatically stops. Then we got a target room. This needs a target room. Okay. -1 for now. Okay, so then we have, let's just say we have a door. Have our trap door. Whoop. Okay, we got a trap door, and this is gonna go target room equals, did we name our first level? Rename level maze. Level maze. Okay, and then let's do something here. So let's do something like this. Can you get it in a diagonal though? I don't think so. Alright, and then we'll do, I don't know, something over there. And then what is this? This is 32,608. 32 and 608. So then we need to do 32, 608. Okay, and then this can go to level maze, and we'll just move this somewhere else. It doesn't matter. Maybe this just goes to here for now. So it's 64, 64. -64, 64. And then let's do a next room. If target room does not equal room. If we're not already in the same room, then just don't room go to. Okay. Cody, you're trying to make like a mini game or like a big thing we should all build on top of. I'm trying to do a base project that you guys can all build on top of. So this is what it is so far. We got walking, we got movement. You're gonna take this character, and then honestly, whatever you want to do with it after that point, it really doesn't matter. If you want to do a mini game, fine. But I have transitions now, so we go between rooms, and then I'm just making some trap doors. Okay, that didn't work as how I thought. Oh, it's because I'm not setting the spread index. My bad. Give me a second. So we're gonna do with the player. If sprite index does not equal in animation, then we're gonna do sprite index equals in animation, image index equals 0. What's going to happen is I'm going to have this project for a couple more days here, and then I'm going to pass it off to Brent, and he's going to do something to it, and then you're going to be next after that, Speedos, and then after that, it's going to go to Steve to finish it off, and then we'll decide after Steve's done with it if we want to do a second round or not. But my intention was to like do just like a base project, get the room transitions in, and then you can do whatever you want when it gets to your turn. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. It's all okay. Close, close. I think the X and Y is off though, and I think it's because the sprite index isn't set. Let's do it differently. It's because his X and Y is different, and then I changed the index. So let's just do it in the trapdoor itself. So let's do equals that, and then player dots right. And I guess I don't really need an animation, but just in case. Because now that I have the room transitions in, you can basically just take the persistent player object and then do whatever you want. Perfect. Look, it works. We're cooking now, dude. We are fucking cooking, dude. Okay, why does the X still feel off, though? Maybe we gotta do another... Who's after me? I want to know if I should finalize or leave it open. Steve is gonna be after you. But he has the least knowledge with Game Maker, so I figure once everything's in, he can like see it and then just add what he wants on top of it. It really doesn't matter for finalizing it. I kind of figured that people are just gonna add whatever they want, and then we'll if we have to go back in and finalize it. Like you're talking about like with a menu or something. You can add the menu when it gets to your turn if you want. If somebody hasn't already done it or edited it, it doesn't matter. We'll look at it as it goes. Finalize it. Yeah, I think that's what you mean by final. Unless you're talking about like a final boss or something. Okay, wait. This is in the end step. I want player X equal my X. Maybe I do player dot master equals my ID. Yeah, maybe that's what we do. Master equals no one. Okay, let's do it that way. Did I answer your question? I feel like it's basically just like up in the air what happens. It's basically it's gonna go me, Brent, you, Steve. So if you want to finalize it, cool, and then or whatever, it doesn't matter, and then we'll see what people want to do. If we want to do a second round of like everybody going through it, then we'll just loop back. Nice. I feel like with the room transition, though, you should be able to... I'm already getting a grand vision. Well, I hope it's grand enough to fit in a week. I'm looking forward to it. I feel like, yeah, I think I'm just going to take it for like a couple more days and then be done with it. We will see what happens. Okay. I wanted to get the room transitions in, though, so that you could do... If you want to do a mini game at some point, and I figure Brent's going to just do whatever Brent does, whether that's the skill system, I don't know, content, I honestly have no idea. Okay, we got that. Okay, there's one last thing. Let's see if I can get it done here. I want to do Gibbs. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? I would like to art. Dude, you can add whatever you want, bro. add as much as you want. I don't care if you want to make it an RPG. I don't care if it's not an RPG and you want to add it. Add whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna take it and try to feed it as much meth as I can in a week. That's a great way to look at it. Great way to look at it. Yeah, I feel like I got some base system in here. Like I got the movement. I got some, I got some foolproofing, at least a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Tiny bit of foolproofing. Enough so that the game is like competent. We got collision. I haven't added any like super crazy elements, but I think that's fine. I think you guys will make up for my lack of craziness. Maybe I'll take a day or two and just do crazy bullshit. I was thinking we need like an attack though. Maybe that's the final thing I'll end up doing in the next couple of days. Some kind of attack. Okay, well, let me see if I can think of these gibs here. Okay, what I want to do is I want to do gibs. So let's do create object, obj gibs. All right, and then we're going to do... Oh, yeah, bro, add music. Do whatever you want. Music, yeah. Add, as long as it's not copyright bullshit. I don't want to deal with copyright. If you make your own music, I'm cool with that. I already have. I can envision with this project too, like branching it in other directions at some point later, which I might do just from my base stuff and not any of your guys' work. But I can see a bunch of different tracks this type of project can take just off of it, which is pretty funny. All right, let's do gibs. So they need speed, H speed, gravity, V speed, and then they're basically just gonna do outside room. Okay, and then I think they're just gonna be... Do you even need a speed? I guess we don't really. Yeah, they don't even need collision. I'm just doing... Oh, we need a rotation, though. Alright, then for the draw, we're gonna do draw sprite extended index image index XY image X scale image Y scale. You're probably like, Cody, why did you do all of that when you're just gonna use rotation? And that's because GameMaker is silly. And if you do it this way, then I can maintain the collision, the built-in collision, in case I wanted to do it. I don't know if I want to do it, but if I do it this way, then the collision stays the same no matter if it rotates or not. Whereas if I use image angle, then it can change the rotation. So that's why I'm doing it this way. There's a method to my madness, I promise. All right, rotation plus equals rotation. Rotation, oh. Amount. Rotation amount. Rotation amount. Okay. Maybe I could add a CC0 track. Yeah, as long as if it has no copyright, I'm cool with that. I just don't want copyrighted music. But it honestly doesn't matter if you have just your levels, I guess, that you want to add music to. If you want to add music to other shit, really, whatever. The world is your oyster. Once you get the project, you do whatever the hell you want. There's no limitations. If you change all the sprites and whatever, that's what it's gonna look like. You do whatever you want. Brent's gonna feed it meth, so it doesn't matter. whatever happens. All right, we're gonna do. Man, I really like the idea of them colliding, though. How would I do that? I have to do a fake solid, wouldn't I? Oh, what if it's just... That's an interesting idea. What if I do... Ooh, I thought of a weird solution that doesn't involve me doing fake collision. No, I'm not going to mess with anyone's stuff. I'll just add my vomit on top of it. Okay. That's kind of what I envisioned would be the best way to do it. I like that idea of just adding other stuff to it. So it's just this crazy project. That's kind of what my vision was. Let's, first off, let's add the door sprite to the next room thing just so it looks, it's a little bit tinier than I was thinking, but maybe that's fine. What the hell is this? Oh, this is teleport. Is teleport not the same? I guess I made the teleport thing there. Weird. Okay, whatever. I'm leaving it for now. Should I add some? We'll look at it later. Like a door there? Yeah, I guess that works. Okay. Get back to what we're doing. So, image index equals I random image number, and then image speed equals 0, and then h speed is random range. It's gonna be like -4 to 4, I guess. I think. And then we're gonna do random range of -8, maybe 7, -3. Okay. So then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do v speed plus equals gravity, because we're always moving down. Yeah. Ground x equals x start, and y equals y start. So it's always going to be moving up. Yeah. And then we're going to do if y is less than ground y, then add gravity, else v speed equals 0, h speed equals 0. Okay, and then okay, this actually might work. This is kind of a weird thing. Have we agreed that Sandman is the name of the main guy? I haven't added any plot yet. So, if you want to, Sandman, make him the Sandman. I don't know. I was kind of thinking, I'm imagining all of your weird Land of Games title screen stuff. And I was like, maybe I'll leave that up to Speedos. Maybe I'll just let him have a hand at it. I might do some creative writing before I finish, but I think for now it'll suffice. All right, then we're gonna do x plus equals h speed, y plus equals v speed. I think that actually works. Okay, then rotation amount equals I random range, like 45 to -45, I guess. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Just totally random. Okay. And then, yeah, I mean, I feel like that'll work. All right, let's do Gibbs, repeat, I random range, like to 20, var gib equals instance create layer. We need an above player layer. player. X, Y. So it's got to be X plus 16 plus 16 plus I random range of -2 to 2. Just add some variation, I think. Let's add some variation on the X2. But it'll be wider. So this is 32 by 32, 16 by 16. I'm like half. I'm like 16. It is kind of like a... Okay, let's do like 8. An 8. His name is Sandman because he's built up of various parts, thought up by many, but he also has to fight a guy made of actual sand named Sandman. Okay, I like the vision so far. Note that down. He's the Sandman because he's made up of many parts. Many small little parts. I like that. Alright, above player. And then obj Gib. Oh, Gibbs. Okay, and then Gib dots right index equals SPR trapdoor Gibbs. I actually have to set the image index since it's set in the thing equals irandom Gib dot image number. We Googled it last stream, right? I don't remember if my interpretation is correct. I was actually looking at the monster manual for the Fiend Folio, I think. I feel like it's close enough. It doesn't matter. If the lore, we'll make up the lore, bro. We don't need to be correct. It was something about sleeping. You know, the Sandman comes in when you're sleeping. I think it's like an old story. The character, I've heard it before. I keep thinking Neil Gaiman, but I don't think. Maybe he is the one that wrote that. I'm not quite sure. All right, let's see if my Gibbs work. Let's see if these Gibbs work. Oh shit, my door keeps opening and closing. If instance exists obj player, if absolute value of my x minus obj player dot x is less than 20. Wait, my x plus 8 is less than 20. Oh wait, we gotta do this again. And the absolute value of my y plus 8 equals object player y less than 20. Image index equal 1. Right? Whatever, that's jank, but 0? You ever listen to music while making stuff? I know it can be distracting, but it gets me in the mood when I'm drawing. Actually, sometimes. Very rarely, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I listen to music while I'm doing shit. Sometimes I listen to YouTube videos if I'm like spriting or whatever. Okay, we can make this bigger. That can be way bigger. What the hell is going on here? 40 pixels? Huh? Wait, how big is the... This is 16 by 16, right? Oh, it's 32 by 32. Okay, my bad. Hold on. This needs to be 16 then. I thought it was, I keep thinking I'm in a 16 by 16 world, but I'm actually in a much larger world. So narrow-minded of me. So narrow-minded. Okay, that still can be way bigger. Let's do like 55 or something. I want the door to just like stand slightly ajar when you're near it, so it's kind of like, oh, I'm going to the next room sort of thing. Oh yeah, look at that. That's really good. That works. Nice. Okay. Okay, that did not work. What the hell was that, dude? What were they doing, bro? They were rolling in place. If less than ground, why? Oh, wait. 0. Why start +4? Let's try this again. Let us see. Okay, something's happening there. Hold on. So I had the wrong image X scale for the thing, so we gotta force that. So hold on. This has got to be player dot image X scale has to be forced to 1. Okay, and then trapdoor Gibbs can actually go much higher than that. So let's do like 10. And then maybe we'll make the gravity less so that they're kind of like floating. Actually, that's going to change that significantly. So what 0.5 looks like. Half the gravity. So much more distance. Okay. Kind of works, actually. I like, we can do this much higher. Let's do 12. And then we can do this more. See what that looks like. Okay. Oh, I like that. It looks awesome. That looks fucking awesome, dude. Nice. Actually, maybe I'll make the amount they can rotate less. This looks fucking nice. Okay. Perfect, dude. That looks fucking dope. Okay. Sweet. All right, so today we accomplished doors, trapdoor, some basic Gibbs, and then maybe I'll do an attack next. Maybe I'll do an attack next. Okay. I'm kind of a fan of it so far. It's kind of gimmicky. I love how you just bust through the door without opening. Yeah, just... Yeah, fuck dealing with the noise. I could probably actually add a lot more Gibbs. I like the idea of even more chaos. I may make a smaller Gibbs set, but I gotta get going to go get gas and go paint walls. This looks good so far. I like this. And then you can jump over walls that are 2. Nice. That turned out pretty good. I think I can probably make the door collisions smaller. So it feels like you're actually like, you gotta walk in slightly. Yeah, that works. Just a slight distinction. That's funny, dude. All right, man. Now we need some gameplay, bro. I mean, we got like a game-ish here, but I gotta add some kind of thing. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'll think about it while I'm painting walls today. I gotta do like an attack or something. Like a gun. Like a Second Amendment right gun. Maybe that's what he needs. You can actually build up some kind of... Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm having a good time already. We're real cooking on this. Okay. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this shit. It's gonna be so funny, dude. Come back a week later, see some weird shit in this game. I'm just having too much fun breaking this fucking door, dude. I feel like, oh man, if I had more time, I gotta do a smash face thing. Like he enters the room smashing his face. That would be awesome. Just like completely face planted. I kind of like that idea. I might do that. So he starts this room face planted. Oh, that's a good idea. I got time though. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Sandman lives more with room transitions. All right, that's all I got today, guys. You take it easy. Have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go paint walls and think about this project, and then my blobber project, and then the 800 other things I want to do. We'll get it done. Luckily, I can just pass this off to you, and you guys can do the dirty work for more stuff. And then I got to get back to stuff. Thanks for the stream. No, thank you for showing up, Brett. You guys have a good day. Take care, Speedos. You guys can start making your sprites now if you want to. Whatever. We'll get it done. Take it easy and peace. Good luck. LMAO, I'm looking forward to whatever you do, bro. It's going to be hilarious. And Speedos and Steve. All right, guys, have a good night.